Welcome to the Donald POV. I'm Donald Fitzgill Jr. bringing you my point of view on everything I want to talk about, literally everything, and trust me, I've got a lot to say. So without further ado, let's go! Protest. When I say the word protest, there is some feeling that probably arises within you. In my opinion, there are two types of Americans when it comes to protest. Those who protest and are aware that they are protesting, and those who protest and are unaware of their protest. You see, we know that those who gather at certain locations with picket signs and poster boards are protesting, but who else can we include in the protester group? Take social media, for example. I joined Facebook pretty late in the game. I joined last year during election season, mainly to connect with someone on Facebook for a potentially huge voice acting project. In large part, what I've seen for almost a year from my Facebook community is that it is a big platform for people to protest. Hashtag activism, if you will. Protest is defined as a strong complaint expressing disagreement, disapproval, or opposition. Social media has offered protesters a different platform. When you share, comment, like, post, or tweet your expression of disapproval of something, congratulations, you've now protested too. The fact is, at some point in our lives, at many points in our lives, we will express disapproval of someone or something, and as an American, this is a right that is afforded to you. So why does protest seem to irk so many of us? If we all do it in some form or fashion, why does it push buttons in some of us like it does? I mean, we're really just talking about a difference of opinion, and everybody loves the person that always seems to play the part of their personal antagonist and insert their opinion into every conversation, right? Right? No? Me neither. Imagine the alternative, though. What if it were a crime to express your objections to things, your objections to laws, politicians, religious leaders of any faith? I don't have to think about it for very long to know that is not a place I want to live. Free speech is a right and a responsibility. I've come to realize that instead of meeting someone's protest with my own protest against their protest, it is more advantageous to the world for me to try listening and at least attempt to understand what the protest is about in the first place. Frederick Douglass once said, "The thing that is worse than rebellion is the thing that causes the rebellion." One more time. The thing that is worse than rebellion is the thing that causes the rebellion. And just a side note, let's not be so arrogant as to believe that we have to understand something for it to exist. There are many things that exist in this world that are far beyond your understanding. I don't have to agree with your opinion, but I respect your right to have one. But what do we do when we want to protest the stock market? When we believe that things are in such disarray in our world and in our economy, and we believe that disarray will spill over into the financial markets, causing a complete meltdown, what do? Do we just get out? Do we pump the brakes and drive slow, homie? If you've ever asked yourself these questions, then this episode is definitely for you. Protest and protection. Let's go! Most financial advisors will tell you that the hardest part of their job is obtaining a client. They'll also tell you that the second hardest part of their job is keeping a client. And I think everyone can understand that, especially if you watch the news. The news is very good at keeping people in a heightened state of anxiety, to the point where some people just say, enough. I want out of any and every investment I own because the world has gone bananas. We are emotional beings, and our emotions tend to affect our decision-making process. This is fact. In finance, this is explained by something called behavioral economics, which is a method of economic analysis that applies psychological insights into human behavior to explain decision-making. It's this behavior that causes us to panic and sell low and then buy high. And here's a pro tip. You want to do it the other way around. You want to buy low and sell high. You're welcome. Your decision to change investment strategies should ultimately be centered on your portfolio's performance, your tolerance for risk, when you expect to need the money, and any life changes that may occur. So how do we take the emotion out of it and protect ourselves? Well, assuming that you control your own investments, at a minimum you can place stop orders on your equity investments. A stop order is a protective order. For instance, let's say you own stock XYZ and it is currently trading at $50 and you want out if it ever goes down to $45. By placing a stop order at $45, your stock will look to be sold at the best possible price once stock XYZ trades at or below $45. I say at or below because in a fast-moving market, a stock can trade right by your price in an instant. Outside of stop orders, people also tend to go into more stable investments during periods of uncertainty like bonds and precious metals. With bonds, you have three main types: corporate, municipal, and treasuries. The highest risk and the highest return is with corporate bonds, and the lowest risk and the lowest return are with treasuries. Municipal bonds fall somewhere between corporate bonds and treasuries with risk and return, but the interest from most municipal bonds, or munis as they're also called, is exempt from federal taxes. This is good. Then there's precious metals. Precious metals have always been a hedge for investors in the stock market. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and copper are metals that investors could consider when trying to diversify their portfolio and escape inflation, financial concerns, and economic turmoil. There are more aggressive alternatives like bear market funds, which are funds that seek to take advantage of a bear market. A bear market is a market in which prices are falling. And then there's short selling, where you look to sell stock that you don't own at a higher price and then buy the stock back at a lower price. You are still buying low and selling high, but you've switched the order in which you do them. Just a side note, an easy way to remember the difference between a bull and bear market is by thinking about the animal itself. A bull would use its horns to lift up, and a bear would use its claws to claw down. Bull market up, bear market down. In summary, I believe it's rarely a good idea to completely leave the market due to chaos. The world will always be full of chaos, but by using certain safeguarding and hedging strategies during periods of uncertainty, you can not only survive, but thrive as well. Take two. Check. Back in 97, I was AMC reppin', visions in my mind, red and black Texas Techin'. Who knew that you would be so close, around the corner from a job and 5 minutes from my folks? Right place, wrong time, everything has a season, soon the sun will shine. I once thought the glory was mine, but it's not. I once thought I had to resign, so I stopped. Overthought it, I guess, no stress. I know this life is a test, but it's a mess as I walk by faith and watch the wind blow. Every night I pray to God while looking out the window. How long, how much strife? Please send me what I long for, send me a wife. Then you came in the night, New Year's Eve, I knew that everything was alright. Even when you turned me down after, I knew that somehow there would be another chapter. Like the one we're living right now, wow, the one we're living right now. I like the way we're living. We're just imperfect people making imperfect decisions, both loved and forgiven. With God's hands on us, then it must be precision. Yes, never felt nothing like this before. Never ever, never ever, ever ever. Never felt nothing like this before. Never ever, never ever, ever ever. Never felt nothing like this before. Never ever, never ever, ever ever. Never felt nothing like this before. Never ever, never ever, ever ever. 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 Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Donald POV. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please tell a friend, please tell a random person about this show. You can follow me on Twitter at the Donald POV, and if there is a certain topic that you would like for me to discuss, feel free to let me know. Till next time, I'm Donald Fitzgill Jr., and this is the Donald POV. Brought to you by the Speakeasy Sound Company. I'll holla.